Hello again. In my previous video with GPD Win4, I showed you guys how you can get switch emulation and gyro working on the GPD Win4, but it wasn't working on the OneXPlayer. OneXPlayer devices are all pretty much the same, so the configuration would also be the same. And for some reason, gyro was not working, and when I enabled gyro, it would just break the controller connection completely. I was able to reach out to the people who created Handle Daemon, and they told me a small fix that would basically fix the issue. So this video is about how you can get gyro working for switch emulation on OneXPlayer devices. So first, let's go to desktop mode. So now that you are in desktop mode, the first thing that we need to do is update the system. So we go to system update, and then it will ask you for your password. This is basically the password you set up when you install Bazzite. So once you put in your password, it will download the latest Bazzite version and install it, and then it will ask you if you want to reboot or quit. I'm pressing reboot. And now that is booted up, we are going to do the exact same thing that we did for the GPD Win4, which is we'll go into our Decky plugin, Handheld Daemon, select DualSense emulation, touchpad clicks, and enable gyro. So for me, it's already enabled. The hertz that you have to set here is 400. It was initially set at 200, I believe, and it did not work. So set it to 400, enable motion support, and you can see that the controller is still working. And if we go to settings, under gyro, you can see gyro is also working, and this time all of the axes are also correct. So on OneXPlayer, gyro axes are also correct. You don't need to do anything, at least on mine. I hope it's the same on yours. If not, you know what to do. Just go to Handle Daemon, motion axis, click override, and then sometimes this breaks. Just press refresh and you can set the overrides. So in my case, for the OneXPlayer, the x-axis is the z-axis, the y-axis is x-axis, and z-axis is y-axis. Once that's done, let's go back to desktop mode. I have Yuzu shortcut here, but we'll go into applications, which is where I have the Yuzu app image. The same process as the GPD Win4, we add it to Steam. I have already added mine, so I hope it doesn't add twice. And once it's added to Steam, this time we are just going to open Steam up in desktop mode. So go to library, scroll all the way down, and you can see the Yuzu app image is here. For me, it's added twice, but I'm just going to remove one. So click Yuzu app image, go to this controller icon here, and then select disable Steam input. So now once you're in this page with Steam input disabled, now you can get gyro working. Let's start by starting the application. And you can see that I've already installed the games before. We will go to emulation, configure, controls, motion, which is already selected, and DualSense control is also already selected, ensure that there is no Steam virtual gamepad here. Press configure under motion and press OK. And that's it. Now let's boot up our game. Yeah, and we have the stick from the game again, and you can see Gyro is working perfectly fine on the OneXPlayer as well. So yeah, that's the whole process. Now one thing to note is OneXPlayer has an issue with the BIOS or somewhere in the software that the sound does not turn on. I've seen this issue on almost all OneXPlayer devices, including the Fly and the new one, X1 or whatever it's called. All of them have the issue that the sound doesn't work on Linux. It doesn't work on any Linux. It doesn't work on Chimera OS or Bazzite, doesn't work on anything. It only works on Windows because of a specific driver which is required to initialize the audio device. Now we've reached out to OneXPlayer many times, but they haven't supported us yet, so just going to be stuck with this way. One way you can get the sound working is if you boot into Windows, and then once you're in Windows, if you force shut down and then boot into Linux, it would work. But as soon as you switch the device off or it hibernates, you lose sound again. So that's something you will have to deal with as long as you have OneXPlayer device and they don't fix it. That's it for this video. Thanks.